Hello and welcome to Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Virgo. If Virgo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Ten of Swords, which has everything to do with ruin, or the perception of. And let's take a look and see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. If you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Let's take a look and see what the tea leaves are saying. I think I already said that. You can tell maybe I'm a little silly. It's Saturday night. I'm almost done with everything I have to do packing. And I'm pretty happy with myself. So I might be a little more silly than usual. Okay, so I want to start here. We have a goat. You can see the head, you can see the horn, kind of in this upright position. Definitely has some Capricorn energy, of course. And then down here we have a bull. Okay, so maybe some Taurus energy as well. But really I'm looking more at the attributes. Okay, so we have the goat, silly, strong, really amazing in situations where you just have to find a way where it seems like there is none. If you can think of a goat kind of going up the side of a hill, a mountain, a wall face, finding those little footholds, the tiny little rocks jutting out, and somehow they find them. I don't know how, but they do. Not unlike a Virgo, right? Us Virgos, I am a solar Virgo, and us Virgos, we are, as much as we dislike really being under pressure, we really do operate pretty well when something needs to get done, especially if it's urgent. I think we do a lot to avoid those situations because of our high kind of anxiety stress level that we, absolutely have a tendency to get in. But I really do feel like, and this, that card, the Ten of Swords, it feels to me like there is something that you have really been working on hard. You are to the point where maybe it's already completed, right? And you're just waiting for, it to kind of show what is the outcome here. Now I'm thinking we are in tax season, right? This is a time where, you just kind of cross your fingers. You hope everything kind of goes as you think it will. The other thing that I was thinking was like, when you are getting ready to do finals in school and you turn everything in and you're just kind of waiting to see what are the final grades. This is kind of that energy. I'm not saying these are exactly the circumstances, but my goodness, right? You think, all right, I did this the right way. I, think that I read everything correctly. I think that, this should be good. I'm pretty, well versed in these areas. And I took my time and, did everything I could. And now it's just kind of up to, the powers that be, right? And so I really feel like this sword, we know it's a sword card. It's an air sign, and this is all about that kind of mental toil, the rumination, and the perceived possibility that there could be some kind of, you know, big catastrophe. Something just starts falling apart. What are you going to do about it? I'm going to really just kind of think about this over and over and over again until I find out, you know, what was the end result. So I do think a lot of this energy is just that. It's kind of waiting to see what happens and not being able to get away from this thinking. But you have that go energy, right? You overcome so much. You do such a great job at, you know, getting things as they should be, you know, but there's always that fear, that underlying, like, what if? And I think that's what this is. I don't think that there's really anything that is going to go wrong. But, you know, it's like, let's sit in it for a while. As a treat. Let me sit in my anxiety a little bit. But then we also have that bull. So I really do. I feel like this is going to end up being an outcome in your favor. Whatever it is that you're waiting on. You know, just... like I said, it doesn't have to do with my examples, but these are two things that came to mind that I'm really thinking, like, these are, you know, I have definitely felt some real anxiety in these situations. So that makes sense in my mind to this energy. But that bull, it really is kind of this feeling of pulling through. Everything kind of comes together. There is a lifting of passion, very fiery and creative, and, you know, that feeling of finding out, like, it's all good. Everything is better than you thought, right? What a freeing feeling, just absolute celebration. So I really, you know, I imagine that this is going to really be something, you know, like I said, better than you thought it would be. Okay. Now I want to look at, it looks like we have a person, here's the head, and they have their arms up like they're, you know, like a bodybuilder or something. They're flexing those muscles there. So I do feel, and it really goes with that Taurus energy as well, there's just such a confidence to this period of time because you have really overcome some big stuff lately. I think that you probably had a lot of things going on, and you got it done way faster, way more efficiently than you gave yourself, you know, a time to do this, right? And I feel like there is a sense of elation here. But like I said, there's still that kind of, you know, kind of tempering self with this really, you know, overwhelming kind of sense of, well, I really think that everything is right, but I'm going to be the one to really question myself until I get the, like, you know, email or paperwork or whatever it is. And, you know, ultimately, I don't know how to get around this because I'm the same way. No matter what it is, even though, you know, I've done something a million times, always at that beginning point, I have the anxiety, then I'm doing the thing, and then I get to the end and I think, okay, let me check this over like 4 times because I don't really necessarily, I don't know if I caught everything, right? And even if I send it off, you know, it's like, I don't know if this is going to be, you know, the right, will this turn out for me? I don't know. But yes, I think it's, you know, it's just something that us Virgos kind of have. And, you know, we constantly kind of get stereotyped as being people who think we're always right. Which, I mean, you know, maybe we are. But we do. I mean, we really do question ourselves. And I don't think so much about things that are super deep all the time, but I think, you know, just the amount of stuff that we are in charge of, you know, you worry that you've forgotten something along the way. And I think that's a normal response, you know, but I feel like this is a really, it's going to turn out to be a time where, yeah, you're feeling like I'm coming out on top, and even more, it's just fireworks, right? Now we also have a fish here. So there is a sense of abundance, definitely in the realm of like monetary, different kinds of resources coming in, and another fish. So I do feel like this is kind of, you know, a time where it's like, okay, well, I'm maybe even ahead a little bit than where I was before, and a good time to kind of, you know, be thoughtful about what you're doing with these resources. Okay, you know, I've been on some of my readings, anyways. I've been talking about doing some financial planning if you have the time and will to do so. I think it's good for everybody, even if you're not making a ton of money. You know, even when I have, you know, barely done, I was a waitress for many years, so I was making like, you know, it depended on the time period and where I was working and whatever, but sometimes barely making enough money to pay the rent and stuff. But I always kind of fully believed that I needed to have a pretty good financial plan, even if it was kind of, you know, wishful thinking at times. But, you know, I think this really feeds into that Virgo energy of really kind of having things organized and knowing what you need to do with what, and if you get into these periods of things coming in, a little more, you know, success and your fortune arriving, you know, being prepared for what you're going to do with that. So that might be something to think about. And let's see, I want to go, let's look up here real quick. I'm also just in such a good mood. We had another new baby in the family, and I got to go meet her today, and we got to hold her, and she's very just, I don't know, you know, well, we all know there's nothing like a new baby. Okay, let's see. So yeah, look at this. We have a goat-headed person right here. Okay, we have another person here, and then we have a goldfish. So that is one of the luckiest symbols that we can find in a reading. This is not only prosperity, not only good fortune. This is also a time of stability and health matters. You know, just balance in your relationships and domestically. So it really is kind of like that shining star of a symbol. And we have these kind of, well, we have the goat, right? And that to me just reinforces, and this actually, it looks like a goat, but a person wearing a goat head, or like a mask. And so I feel like this is kind of that high priest energy, or the Hierophant. And this is very much activated in that same zone that we were just talking about, which is that you are able to often make something happen out of nothing because you spend your time working diligently at it. You absolutely are self-led, you are motivated, you're you're a Virgo, so you're highly intelligent, obviously. And you are a creator and a beholder and a healer and all the other things. So, you know, I look at this and it's like, yes. I mean, this is really some powerful energy flowing through your life. You are just in a place of, you know, right there in spirit. I think you are actively involved in your spiritual life. You are, you know, really going through the movements of spirit applied to matter, the physical world. You are not just kind of walking through life, you know, like on autopilot, totally devoid of any kind of engagement with that divine essence. No, 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 no. You are in that and you follow your intuition. And I think that you know that the universe will provide for you. The universe will guide you. You must listen though, right? And that really does flow right through you. That's why we have intuition. That's why we have these moments of revelation. And when, you know, we go about our business of the day and we just know sometimes, like, this is not for me. I don't exactly know why, but this is not for me. And on the other hand, yeah, this is absolute. This feels right. It feels natural. You know, this really is spirit being alive in our lives. And so I feel like we're really at a power place here. And we also have right here the scythe, which is a harvesting tool. And so to me, this says, you know, the seeds that you have planted that are growing in your life, the work that you have put in, the care, the time, the attention, it's all paying off. And this is where that good fortune really is going to come into play. Okay, so a beautiful and bountiful harvest. Okay, let's see. So we do have that crab. We have the crab, but it looks like it's wearing a crown. And let me just say, you might not have a Cancer right in your life, but this is, for me personally, I'm a Virgo. My husband is a Cancer. You probably know him. His name is Paul. He's over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. He's the best tarot reader. And I see this and I'm like, oh yeah, he is the kind of king of my life, isn't he? But I do think that there is more widely, we will, unless you're married to a Cancer as well, or you're, you know, there's a prominent Cancer in your life. I do feel like this is actually taking from the attributes of the crab. And this is that there is a sense of self-preservation, a sense of maybe, you know, in this period of time, kind of keeping to yourself and really focused on the work. Okay, not worried about being involved in all of the kind of dalliances and dramas of social living, but really kind of you know, focused on career stuff, focused on your household, focused on your faith, on your spiritual journey, your journey to, you know, whatever, wellness or wholeness or you know, becoming detached, or, you know, whatever your big goal is. You know, I do feel like you are just absolutely happy to kind of be in your own space, doing your own thing, unbothered by anything else besides that thing you're working on, right? The thing you've been thinking about, but absolutely not worried about the dealings and doings of other people, right? So that's a good place to be in. I absolutely love when I kind of get into that mode, because I feel like I spend a lot of time, you know, just kind of trying to figure out, well, what are people doing? Why are they doing it? What does this mean? And that's part of it is I am neurodivergent. So I do have some amount of I understand people well from afar, I feel like, but in direct contact, not always the best. So, you know, that could be me. This could be a Virgo thing. But I do feel like, you know, the other Virgos I have in my life, which my family is very, a lot of Virgo energies, a lot of solar Virgos. When any of us kind of get pulled into these kind of circles of people-y stuff, right, can easily get lost in the whole kind of whirlpool of it, you know, go down the social rabbit hole, you know, and lose a lot of just important time, you know, time that we could have been spending otherwise. And I think, you know, getting into this mode, this proves to be a time where you are not only productive, but also getting some of the rest that you maybe have been lacking lately, okay? Because you have been working so hard. So maybe it is a time to kind of recharge the batteries. All right, let's see. What do we have over here? I'm looking. I forgot if I had any numbers. I really did not see any numbers tonight. Well, that's not true. Okay, so it looks like we have, right here, we have a 6 and a D. You know, I like to go look for numbers and letters every night just to see. Oh, and look at these birds. There's a bird here. And here's one that looks like it's carrying somebody off. Or somebody, I should say, carrying something off. It almost looks like the sun. So that one's interesting because this does look like a high-flying bird, like a hawk or falcon or maybe an eagle or something, carrying the sun. And the sun definitely is sense of illumination. So the birds to me really relate to, again, that kind of sword or air energy, higher thinking, having a vast perception. And so I do think that this is a real sign of being alleviated of those anxieties through information, knowledge, you know, seeing clearly what is going on. And I think that this really has to do with like getting kind of a clear final, you know, verdict on whatever, you know, or like, oh yeah, you don't owe anything on your taxes this year, or you know, whatever it is, you paid in enough, or, you know, so that seeing that you passed all your classes, or, you know, oh, you got the raise, or, you know, you got the place that you've been, you know, trying to rent or lease, or, you know, whatever it is. And so, yeah, once it is kind of out in that light and you can see, and it's like you're flying high, right? No more worries here. Or here's a new set of worry. Not that worry anymore. Now I have some other things to be concerned about. Okay. I have a heart. I have a person here with kind of a, almost a sad face, and it almost looks like a tear coming down. And then here I have a bird again. It almost looks like the same bird, actually. So you can see, try to get them next to each other. This one, it looks like it's kind of sitting on something. You can see the bird, the beak, and then sitting there. And then this one as well looks like it's a bird, maybe more like a chicken here. sitting here, okay? We also have, oh yeah, the heart and the heart. So we have 2 hearts. And so I do feel like there is this sense of a message coming through. And I feel like this is maybe even, I don't know if this is a transition person. I wonder if this is maybe like a former beloved, or a lover, or somebody maybe even like married to, or, you know, divorced from, or I don't know, an old love. And I feel like something has come up that's really reminded you of them. And there is a sense of, you know, knowing better, but also still lamenting the end of this thing. And I don't feel like that there is like a going back, but I do feel like there's a psychic connection there. But those negative things outweigh the positive. And, you know, I feel like there has been so much growth in your life since this relationship. And I think this is like ancient history, like over a decade ago, maybe even 2. Not anything that you are interested, that you probably don't even commune with this person anymore. You know, this is like ancient history, like I said. But, you know, I think every once in a while something happens or comes up, or an anniversary, or, you know, whatever it is, and you get to thinking about this person, about, you know, I don't know, maybe some of the highlights of their you know, time with you, romanticizing some of the qualities. But, you know, we're Virgos, so it's like, I don't know, you can't really go back, because we remember everything. We remember everything ultimately, you know. And so I don't know what it is, but it seems like this person's been on your mind. And almost with that kind of messaging coming through, I feel like maybe you've been on their mind too, because you seem to be connecting on this like higher level, and maybe even through like dreams. You've been having dreams about them. Maybe they've been dreaming about you, you know, whatever it is. But, you know, don't get sucked back into that. Don't do it. I remember somebody on the comments some weeks ago was like, what is your, why are you so biased against the past? Like, sometimes it's good to go back or whatever and reconnect. And I don't know, I'm just a firm believer in you move past old things, old friends, people you've had falling out with, you know, old lovers or relationships, and so on. I mean, very rarely, in a rare case, you know, does it make sense to go back to somebody, or living in the orbit of somebody who has left your life for some reason or another, you know. And it's not about resentment, but you know, for me, I just feel like, and this is maybe a personal thing, just getting stuck in cycles that do not serve us well, falling into old behaviors, and you know, part of it too here is, I'm just thinking about this for myself, because I'm in recovery, and I have been for almost 10 years. If I go hanging out with people from back in the day, even if there were people that I wasn't like partying with, right? It still has that same, they're in that place for me, a life that, doesn't exist for me anymore. My life couldn't be, I live in a different place. I have a family that had, you know, no relationship to that old life, and so on. You know, I've done a lot of self-work. I've had to, or I wasn't going to survive. And so I guess, you know, for me, it's like, I feel like it's really important to give yourself the gift of living the life that you have created. You don't need to bring in these old energies. Go digging them up from the past. Now, I'm not one to tell anybody what to do. If you feel so impassioned, you know, of course, there might be a reason, you know, there might be something there. But do it cautiously, right? Don't be enchanted by nostalgia. It is a real potent thing, isn't it? That nostalgia. All right, let's take a look. We have the Indigo Sage affirmation cards, and these are the air element. I have all the little decks, and they're beautiful. All of them are beautiful. There's 4 of them for each element. Okay, I'm going to flip through and stop where it feels right. Oh, yes. What a beauty. What a beauty. It says, Destiny expanded. Are you ready to fly with the creative spirit into the depths of metamorphosis? Yeah, I hope so. We're always doing that, though. We're always growing and evolving, us Virgos. We really are. So, Virgo, I'm going to tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's always such a pleasure and an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I would love to hear from you. Also, I mentioned my husband, Paul, over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. Go check him out. You know, give him a little like, give him a little subscribe. Let him know that I sent you over there. Most of you are probably well aware of him. I know I see every single day somebody telling me, I didn't know you guys were married. I watch both of you. Or a lot of people saying, hey, he mentioned you. I'm coming over from his channel to check you out. So maybe like a few of you, maybe a rare few of you don't know who he is. But, you know, go definitely see what's up with him. And what else? Yeah, I think that's it. So I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk in a few days. Good night, good night, good night.